So if you are standing, we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen and just taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just letting go of the worries from the day. And then the hands can float down by the sides. And as you breathe in, the arms float up. They circle in front as if you're gathering in energy right into the heart. And then send the energy back down towards the earth, sinking the chi. We'll do that one again. The chi is the life force energy, the source of our power and our strength. Breathing in, gather. And then one more time, sinking the chi. This time you can step one foot out to the side, either foot. The arms float up in front. Then the arms get heavy, floating down, the knees and hips soften. Breathing in, like mist rising from the lake. Breathing out, floating down, like a soft rain. Opening the door, starting the journey. This time the arms can float out to the sides, like you're spreading your wings. Then the arms float down, the palms face up. They float up the midline of the body, pressing up overhead, and then floating out and down, holding up the sky. Breathing in as you open the shoulders and chest. Breathing out as the arms float down, really feeling all the sensations that you can. One more time, holding up the sky, and then letting it go. Important part. And this time, the hands float up to the heart. One hand pushes up, the other pushes down, connecting the sky and the earth. Let's do the other side. Keeping the spine neutral at first. And then this time, if you want, you can do a side bend, just easing in, nice and soft. Let's do one more to the other side. This time, the bottom hand comes up, and then you can push to the corner. The other hand pushes behind. Then coming back to center, we'll go to the other corner. The dragon spreads its wings. And if you want, you can turn a little more, pivoting on the feet, letting the back heel come up. And then one more time to the other side or to the corner. This time we'll hug the tree and bring it right back to center, rounding out and then soften. The arms open up wide and the fingertips drift towards each other. The hands flow down. Then drifting over to one side, drifting over to the other. Like tall grass in the breeze, nice gentle sway. And then come over to one side, tap the heel right out in front. Bring it back in, shift the weight, other side, tap the heel. You're testing out the waters. This time, tap the heel, the hand comes over the foot. Other side, tap the heel, hand over the foot. All right, this time hand over the foot, other hand over the knee, playing the pipa, Chinese guitar. Other side. Still breathing. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just keep on moving. All right, one more time. Playing the pipa, strumming the lute. And then step the foot back in, hug the big tree, rounding out, and then step one foot out a little bit wider. Breathing in, the arms open. Breathing out, the fingertips drift towards each other, the hands flow down. And then this time, the hands float up to one side. One hand makes an arrow, the other draws the bow, and then softening the hips and knees. Then rising up, release the bow. We'll go to the other side, the archer. One hand makes an arrow, the other draws the bow, softening down. All right, and then all together, drawing the bow as you soften down, the archer. It doesn't matter how low you go, just being kind to yourself, please. One more time. Strengthening the hips. Circling around, hugging the tree. And then you can step the feet in a little bit closer if you like. And then from here, the hands flip. The bottom hand drops down and then toss away. The hand waves in towards the center and then press forward right towards me. The other hand tosses away, the elbow bends, the hand waves in, repulsing the monkey, pressing forward. You can even lean into it if you want. One more time, repulsing the monkey, calming the monkey mind. All right, this time toss away the other hand on top and then step the foot in, and then both hands together, pushing down and waving in as you soften the hips and knees, rising up, softening down. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, this time we can step out to the corner, and as you step out to the corner, the bottom hand brushes past the knee, the top hand pushes right to the corner. The top hand floats down, bottom hand circles up. Coming back to the beginning, brush knee and push. Just like a dance that you don't have to get right. All right, one more time. All right, this time, stay with me here. The bottom hand scoops up, the palms face up. The hands float down, making two loose fists. Then the fists come out and around and then back up top, boxing both ears. The hands float down, we'll do that again, shifting the weight back, making two loose fists, and then shifting the weight forward, just coming up a little bit to, say, ear height, boxing both ears. All right, and then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, rounding out, soften, and then this hand drops down, toss away, the other hand on top, step in, both hands together, pushing down and waving in. Breathing in and breathing out. Just letting go of any tension you don't need. It's nice and soft. And then we'll step out to the other corner. And as you step out, the bottom hand brushes past the knee, the top hand pushes to the corner. The top hand circles down, the bottom hand circles up. Weaving it all together, brush knee and push. All right, let's do one more. Beautiful. All right, this time the bottom hand scoops up, the palms face up. The hands float down as you shift the weight back, making two loose fists. You come right back up to ear height, boxing both ears. And then the hands float down, sometimes called the twin fists. All right, one more time. And then step the front foot back in, hug the big tree, rounding out, soften, and the arms open up wide. This hand scoops under, the other one on top, as you embrace the moon, and the bottom hand comes up overhead. The other hand pushes down. And circle back around, catch the moon. And then just the arms at first, the bottom hand comes up, the other hand pushes down, leaning to the same side as the arm coming up. All right, now this time, as the bottom arm comes up, the opposite foot touches down in front, tapping the toes. And step back in, catch the moon. Bottom arm comes up, tap the toes right out in front. The white crane spreads wings. Let's do that once more. Then step back in, embrace the moon, and then we'll spin the moon. The bottom hand comes up top, the other hand pushes down, leaning to the side of the arm coming up. Do that again. Once again, just coming up slightly overhead, if that works for you, or as much as you can. This time the bottom arm comes up, the opposite foot touches down in front. Step back in. Let's do that again. The white crane spreads wings. Step back in. All right, one more time. All right, this time we'll step back in and embrace the moon. Then the arms open up wide. The fingertips drift towards each other. The hands float down. The hands float up to one side and then up to the other. Nice gentle sway. All This time, this hand here scoops down and comes right out in front. The elbow bends, the hand comes to about eye level. Hands float down. Do that again, same side, just the arms, coming right out in front. All right, now this time you can lift the same side leg as the arm coming up in front. Touching down is needed. The rooster stands on one leg. So keeping the foot down, or this time you can lift it even higher, if that works for you. All right, one more time on this side. The rooster stands on one leg. This time the hands float over to the other side. The hands float up. And then this hand scoops down, comes right out in front. The hands float down. Let's do that again, just the arms coming right out in front. All right, this time you can lift the leg if you want. Touching down is needed. Just meeting yourself where you're at. You can always go forward from there. We'll do that again, touching the toe down or lifting up as much as you'd like. The elbow right over the thigh. One more time, the rooster stands on one leg. And then circle the arms around, hug the tree. Bring it back to center, rounding out, soften. The arms open up wide, the hands float down. The palms face up, one hand on top of the other. This hand floats all the way up and over, and then down the center line of the body. Other side, breathe in as the hand floats up. Breathing out, centering. Do that one again, creating harmony and balance in body and mind. One more time, centering. And then both arms float all the way up and over, just as much as you can. The hands float down to the waist as you soften the hips and knees. And circle the hands in front, as if you had a big ball right in front of the body, gathering the energy right into the heart. And then back down. One more time, all the way up and over. Down to the waist. This time we'll make a diamond shape with the hands right in front of the heart. And then press out, opening the heart, sending out loving kindness to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. Then the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or just keep a soft gaze and let your body rock and sway ever so slightly. Bamboo in the wind. Feeling the sensations that arise in the body. Feeling the inflow and the outflow of the breath. And then you can bring your attention into your heart, creating an inner smile, expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. Then if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart. You can finish with a bow. Thank you all so much for joining me for this Tai Chi Flow. So I'd love to hear how it felt for you, so type in the comments how you're feeling. All right, and then while you're doing that, we'll get ready for the 3 best exercises for hip pain, or just to keep your hips healthy in general. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this chair, but you can use a countertop. If you have a staircase, this is gonna be great to do. You can maybe just watch for now and then try it later. But I'm gonna use some blocks because I don't have a staircase handy. So All right, so this exercise I'm going to show you, it's a really simple one, and you can do this one if you have pain. All right, so this is one if you're just hurting and you're like, I need to do something to loosen up my hip, it's just tight and painful, then this is called the hip pendulum. All right, this is one that I've had so many of my patients for physical therapy reduce their pain by 50% at least for most of them. So now everyone's different, so I can't guarantee. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand up on a step. So say this is like your staircase going up the stairs, up that way. So you stand on the step, put your hand on the railing, and then just let the leg that you wanna loosen up dangle. And then you just kind of swing it front and back. All right, but don't do it real active. Use your body to kind of use the momentum to swing it, because you don't want to just kick it like that. That just makes it tighter. So you want to just kind of swing it like a pendulum. All right, if you have any ankle weights, sometimes just wrapping like a 1 pound ankle weight on there too can give it some traction. Or I'm sorry, yeah, like distracts the joint or opens the joint. And so that can really loosen up the joint. Or you can wear a heavy boot. And so just swinging it for 30 seconds. All right, now you're working on strengthening the other leg too. So it's really a strengthening one as well. All right, and then I'm gonna show you on the other side. I'm just gonna turn this around. And then same thing, you just step up on the step, or you can use a stool, but you wanna make sure you have something stable to hold on to though. All right, and then same thing, you just let the leg kind of dangle, you can shake it out, and then just let it swing for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. And then after a week or two, you can even do it for up to a minute or two. Just letting it swing if it feels good. It loosens up your psoas, which is the hip flexor that gets really tight on people from sitting all the time. So the psoas, it's your deep hip muscle that gets tight. This loosens it up. This loosens the joint. And just this gentle motion, it stimulates the synovial fluid, which is the lubrication of the joint, and that can help to reduce the pain. All right, so that's the first thing you want to do if you have pain. Okay, so now that you have pain, we want to keep things loose. So I'm going to show you 2 other exercises that you can do every day in under probably 2 minutes. All right, so the next one is the hip circles. All right, let me move this over a little bit. All right, so you place your hands on your hips and then just begin to rotate the pelvis in a circle. All right, so really simple but very effective. All right, making small circles at first, and then you can do bigger ones if it feels okay. If it bothers you, you can skip this one or any of them. Really listen to your body. All right, and then reverse direction, or just do very small motions and see if that works better. You can kind of experiment because everyone's different. All right, so these are just general ones that are good for most people. All right, and then what you can do, say, I know a lot of you that I know have been with me for a while, and that one's like, okay, I've been doing that for a while, so I'm gonna show you how to progress that. All right, so then you'll go into your bow step, so your Tai Chi lunge, and then try doing it and see how it feels. So you can loosen up in the positions that we do in Tai Chi. So you might even feel looser with your Tai Chi. So your Tai Chi is loosening you up, and then you can loosen up for your Tai Chi. All right, and then you can reverse direction. And it doesn't have to be a long stance. It can be kind of just a narrow one at first or wide. So just find one that's good for you. But that different angle loosens up the ligaments in the hips that get tight as well. So that'll help kind of hit it from a different angle or loosen it from a different angle. All right, and then we'll do the other side. So just at a staggered stance. It doesn't have to be a bow step. But you can do a longer step and just see how that feels. Maybe it feels better. It's like, oh, I can feel a better stretch. But never forcing it. All right, so it should feel ease and maybe a slight stretch, but never a forceful stretch. All right, other side. So this one I do almost every day. It's such a great way to lubricate the joints of the hips. All right, so that's how we keep it loose. So we address the pain, we loosen it up. Now we gotta make sure we stay strong. So we do the hip hinge and then ultimately the squat. All right, now the hip hinge, the key to the hip hinge is to send your hips back. So spread your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. All right, so feet wider than shoulder width. Okay, I'm gonna show you from the side because the key is to send your hips back. See, I'm kind of sticking my bottom out there. So you wanna do that as opposed to coming forward. Okay, because that puts a lot of stress on your knee joints and it makes you round your back. So instead, sit back like you're gonna sit in a chair. You can even bring the arms out for balance. Now your chest has to come forward or else you'll fall backwards. So see how I'm kind of doing, I'm like a kind of a V shape. All right, so with the hips. So sit back, and you don't have to go very low. The knees can come forward a little bit if you want, but not too much. They shouldn't go past your toes forward. So you can take a peek down. If you're here, that means you're too far. So just sit back a little bit more, kind of sit into the hips a little, or just don't go as low. So this one you want to do about 5 to 10 every day. So this is just good to do to make sure you're moving correctly. All right, because most people, they go to squat down, they go down with their knees, and it's a great way to throw out your back and hurt your knees. All right. Now, when you're going to do a squat, you'll have that pattern already kind of ingrained. All right. So then you go to squat down, you'll start off with the hip hinge, and then you can go forward if you need to. But if you start off going forward, that's where people start to cause issues. So it's not about never having your knees go past your toes, but at least start off with your hips back, because that loads up the muscles. This loads up the joints. Instead, we want to load the muscles so that we can use the muscles instead of stressing the joints. All right, so we got the hip pendulums. You can do that every day, 10 to 30 seconds, progressing to a minute. We have the hip circles. You can do 5 or 10 each way, or you can just do them for like 30 seconds or a minute, whatever's easier if you want to just set a timer or watch the clock, or just do 5 breaths. So sometimes I'll just, that's 1. And so you can do it, and that'll make sure you're breathing. And then you can vary it too if you like it. You can kind of do different angles. And then finally the hip hinge to build strength. And then ultimately you can hold on maybe a little bit of a weight, like if you have like a 1-pound dumbbell, and then do some squats too to add in some more strength. All right, so, but remember, if it hurts, then don't go as low, or skip it, and maybe just get some guidance one-on-one with someone for that. So, all right, well, I hope that helped. So hopefully those things will help your hips. This, like I said, this is general, so it should help a lot of people. So if it doesn't, then I always recommend getting it checked out if you can. But yeah, I think that those are some of the best things you can do every day.